Hello there and welcome to my boat shed. My name is Panu and I am building this 15 meter or 50 foot liveaboard cruising sailboat here in nice and warm Finland. In the previous video we installed the first plank for the boat and now I have been prepping the actual process of getting all of them installed. And the first thing was actually to test that new epoxy I purchased a while ago, because I haven't really used that so much and I wanted to kind of figure out how that works, especially here in warm temperatures. So let's check out that first. Right now it's getting a little bit warm here again. It's mid-July almost, and yeah, my green turtle epoxy that I have been using so far in this project, it only has this fast hardener, as you may know. And I bought a few weeks ago this Sika resin, full barrel of it. I have actually tested this once before and it worked well, but now I wanted to try this in these warm temperatures, how this behaves. And the spec said that this should have a pot life of 45 minutes in 25 degrees Celsius. So I'm pretty confident that this will work. And now I've been kind of holding this in my hand for 10 minutes or so. And I assure you, if this would have been the green turtle, it would be getting hot already. But yeah, there's really no sign of this getting any warmer. So it's not really possible to use that in these temperatures anymore, but this seems to be quite slow. And with this one we can do the big laminations over the summer here as well. So the rest of the keel timber, the planking and all kinds of other stuff that we need to do. But yeah, this feels okay. The mixing ratio is a little bit cumbersome. It's 100 to 12, so a lot less hardener compared to the green turtle, which is 100 to 30. So yeah, I need to make a note to remember how much I need to mix the resin and the hardener. But yeah, this should be quality product. It's meant for professional use really. I think all epoxies are in this scale at least, but yeah, I think this is fine and no sign for any heating up just yet. I filled a couple of these voids that I have here. They're not really anything important, so I can try things in here. You can see I've been filling them with kind of remains of some epoxy batches here before. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out, how it hardens and how long it takes. And I'll leave the rest of this in the cup and see how fast this kicks. Pretty confident that this will work and we'll use this epoxy for the rest of the summer, or actually rest of the project really. All right, now it's about 40 minutes later and this is now already hardened. 10 minutes ago it was still pretty liquid and a little bit warm, but now it's hot. I cannot keep my hand on there, and now it's pretty much solid. So yeah, 30 minutes in a cup. I think it's pretty good It's now 23 degrees in here, so normal summertime. So I'm pretty happy with this working time. Now I just let this cure. Now it's starting to smell a little bit as well. It's actually pretty low smell stuff, but as you can see here on the edges, when it's not in a big plump, it's still kind of workable. But this works now here in the summer temperatures, and I can do big laminations like rest of the keel timber with this stuff. All right, I'm pretty happy how this works. We have plenty of working time with this compared to the fast hardener I had with the green turtle. So now I'm pretty confident we can do all this planking during the summer. It's now 25 degrees in here about. And one thing that has been kind of waiting for me to test this is the keel timber, because last time I did a couple of layers over there, it was already quite warm and I had a pretty rush schedule to get it in there before the epoxy started to kick. But now this has been tested, I'm confident to use that. We're gonna actually today laminate the rest of that keel timber. My friend Mika is here today helping me, and I'll just put some time lapse on now, and we'll see how this goes. Blast of a day, but there's 4 layers to go in, and I think we're gonna manage that because yeah, it's not really that complicated, but of course pretty big surface area. We'll see. It's a little bit warm. Alright, it's now a week later. During this past week, I've been mostly doing off-camera work on the other side. And yesterday I managed to fiberglass rest of the gaps in there. So just a small sanding left to do there, so I can put the first plank on that side as well. But what I've been thinking mostly is the keel timber. So last week with my friend here, we laminated the rest of the layers there, and it went quite well, but it was also the warmest day of the summer so far, which is a little bit unfortunate, and I might have overlooked the curing time of that epoxy, because when we did the final fitting, putting the screws in to hold it in place, I noticed that the first layer was already quite hard. So now I'm quite uncertain if that was a successful lamination. And with the further inspection, I also found that there is actually 2 gaps where the laminations are not together. One is over there, you can see a couple of clamps over there. I tried to squeeze it in, but it didn't work. Another one was actually on the previous layers, a little bit further down there. So yeah, this has been bothering me for a week, and I'm not sure if that was actually the really first big mistake of the boat build so far. So I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do, but there's a possibility that I might have to redo almost the whole thing, which would be obviously quite a bummer. But I've been thinking also that the first layers are done well. I'm sure of that, and the final layers are done well. The layers that we put together, they are done well. But the seams between there are the concern. Also, if you think about how this kind of keel works, so there is actually 2 keel beams, is the actual keel and then the keelson, which is the inside. And in the plans, there are separate pieces that are connected with a narrow piece of wood between. But I wanted to do it just one beam because I didn't want to have any kind of small cavities in there and stuff like that. So mostly the middle part of the keel timber is not structural that way. So I've been thinking if I add a row of doubles in between there in the middle to connect the two kind of top and bottom layers together, that might do the trick. Those gaps are thing that I just might need to fill. I need to kind of clean them up with maybe some saw or something like that, and put epoxy between there and make sure that they are connected together. I tried to peel off those from each other with the crowbar, but they don't really move. So yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure yet. I will continue thinking about that. If you have any ideas, you can put comments down below about this issue, but I'm not sure if this video, when this is published, I might have already done this. So anyway, this might be quite a big mistake. But that's it for that jammering. We'll get back into that soon, but now we're gonna continue with the planking. And we dry fitted this second layer last week, and I've been waiting for these to continue. So these are bamboo sticks, and what we need to do with these is to connect the planks together in this way. So we need to put this kind of stick, edge nailing it's called, between the planks, so that the planks are together approximately 20 centimeters apart. So every 20 centimeter, something like this, we need to put these small doubles or wood nails. To do that, I also purchased a couple of long drill bits. But I think the procedure will go like, first we glue this in, and if we end the day, we'll just leave it like this, and then next day or next session, we first put these nails in, glue them in, and then we put the second layer on top of that. So there's obviously epoxy glue to attach these into there. So any kind of squeeze out doesn't matter if you put the next layer immediately there. So that's the idea. But now I'll get this off from there, mix some epoxy. We'll do the layer of epoxy on the backside again, and then some thickened epoxy on the seams. And then I think I'll do just slightly thickened epoxy into that cove, and then we push the plank in. There shouldn't be very much to fill between those planks because we have the bed and cove, and that's the whole point of the shape really. Yeah, let's go. And just like that, it is done. And yeah, it took a little bit longer than I wanted. There's a little bit of fiddling still, but I think I'm getting hang of the method we're using here and how to spread the epoxy and stuff like that. And of course, after we get above this level, we don't need to roll the backside, so that will make it much faster, of course. But yeah, I think tomorrow I will continue with that other side to clean up those and maybe kind of prepare the first plank on that side and well, maybe get a third plank on this side as well. But we'll see about that. But during next week or so, I try to prepare everything so that when we start the planking parties for good, we're gonna have a clean kind of slate here to just go with the planking and not think about that too much anymore. So looking good in that perspective at least. Now it's late and I'm gonna go home and we'll continue tomorrow with something. And just like that, it's again a week later. During past week, I've been mostly prepping that other side, and there is now first plank installed over there as well. And on this side, there is now 3 planks. Yesterday, we had a blast of a planking party with my friends here, and we got the 3rd plank installed. And during this planking, I have learned a few things and a couple of problems which have been solved. The first one was with these doubles or wooden nails, what you would call sticks. These are 4 millimeters thick, but the actual dimension is 4.2. And when we did 4 millimeter holes for them, they didn't really go in there. They were too tight and I couldn't whack them in. They just broke down. So with this first layer we used 6 millimeter drill bit, and it created quite a large hole for that stick. It's a little too large, but now I have 5 millimeter drill bit, and I think that's gonna be okay. That hole is gonna be filled with epoxy anyway, so everything's glued in really well. So I hope that works. Second thing is regard of these planking materials. The length of the material is 4.1 meters, I think.
But the length is just wrong for getting this done efficiently. So in every row there is quite large waste of material because I really cannot use very small sections because I would like it to span at least to 3 different frames. And there's really not many options how I can lay them down without getting the seams very close together. So that is a little bit of bummer because that of course will create quite a lot of waste during this planking thing. So yeah, that is what it is. I still need to order more of that stock anyway at some point. So I think it will be good enough. Lessons learned there, and now I know pretty well how long pieces I need for each layer and where the seams go, so it will probably make the planking go faster when I don't need to measure and fiddle things. So I just can chop them in certain lengths and then install them here. Yeah, couple of more layers in here, which I need to put the epoxy on the backside as well, and after that we can just put planks in and glue them together without any additional hassle. So that's gonna make it much faster, I hope. As for this video, I think this is long enough already, but I'm gonna today continue putting another plank on that side. So there is 2 planks on that side and 3 on this side, and we'll continue with that setup in the next one. And the keel timber is still pretty much a problem. I haven't done anything for that yet, and I haven't really decided what to do just yet. There is really 2 options in my mind. First is to fix it, to find the kind of bad spots, open them up and put epoxy between there and make sure that it's glued up for good, and then maybe put a row of dovels in the middle to kind of fix the layers together even more. So that's option 1, and option 2 is to redo most of that. So rip off most of the layers and do those again. So yeah, I don't know. If you have any suggestions, options, opinions, put them in the comments and we'll see what we're gonna do with that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, hopefully. Meanwhile, you can go and check out the Patreon page to support my video production and this work you can see behind, and you can also order some t-shirts, those headphones. All the links are in the description. Everything helps for me to take time to edit and make these videos, in addition to doing this boat and my day job. So yeah, take care and bye bye.